Pittsburgh. It's Friday night, 1/19/2018, and in my group, the Forex Trading Authority, earlier today, this morning, I posted my one trade that was with GBPCAD, a sell, and I was able to get 23 pips on that trade, $9.31. I'll show you what I was looking at there, and it actually decided to make its move right before the news came out at 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. So after the London Open, at 4:30 there was news scheduled for GBP, 4:30 a.m. Right before that 4:30 candle started to paint, it made a big drop. Um, the next candle open, it started dropping further, then moving up, and I got out with the 23 pips. So anyway, let me show you what that looks like. But Fridays, I tend not to trade a whole lot, especially after the early morning, because what normally happens on Fridays is the market will move the opposite way you think it's going to move, because the market maker will make his corrections basically on Friday. So he'll move the market the other way. So if you've seen a particular um, pair, forex pair, in a downtrend all week, and then you go and you look for a shorting opportunity on Friday, you'll end up getting run over because he's going to change directions and he's going to go up. So this happens a lot of times. Doesn't happen on every pair, but it happens a lot. So that's why I tend to stay out on Friday. But I did miss a lot of good trades. A lot of, there were some Vector 3 trades that I'm going to show you where you could have got a quick 50 pips in an hour or, less than 90 minutes and gotten out of the market with 50 pips. But the trade, so here's one right here, GBP NZD. This is the Asian session, right? It's a 48 pip Asian range, trading range, so it's not blown out. We look for 25 to 50 pips. And then as it comes out of the Asian range box here, which starts at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it makes a strong move up to the stop hunt box here, which is white. You see the pin goes up there. The pin also is on yesterday's high. This dotted blue line here is the day before's high. Okay, so it goes right to there. And, a lot of times that will be your signal to get in. But, what you get here is you get 3 pins right there in a row. Okay, so this trade here, wasn't bad. If you would get in after this candle here, you could still pick up 44 pips, 46 pips down here to the bottom of that candle. Okay, even if you wait for here to get in. Now, of course, with the spread, you're going to pick up a little bit less. You might end up with about 30 pips on that trade, once you factor in the spread in and the spread out. But that was a good one there. Now, GC is the trade that I took. Now, you see here, it comes out of a 50 pip range box here, but it's during the Asian session, it's moving up. You could see 1, 2, 3 moves up, right? So you get 3 intraday pushes up. It goes up into the stop hunt box, and look at this. Look at this here. You get a set of railroad tracks and a pin, and it throws a pin up higher. Okay, that's your key to get in right on this candle here. Now, it throws a monkey wrench in here because this is the London Open right here, this candle. And this candle here kind of suggests that it's going to go back up, but it doesn't. As you see here, you get a drop of about 67 pips down to the bottom of this candle here. So that's a Vector 3 trade, right? And you would get 67 pips on that if you get in where you're supposed to get in at. Now, if you wait for the cross, if you wait for the ketchup and mustard to cross, which is right here on this arrow, then you would get in down here and you would get about 30 pips. But either way, it's a great trade. Okay. Now what happened was I got in a little bit late on this. I woke up late and I think I got in somewhere on this candle right here. Okay. And, what happened was it kind of stayed in this area. And all of a sudden, on this candle here, this was the 415 to 430 candle, right before the news came out on GBP, it made a big move down. Okay. I waited for the next candle to open. It moved further down. Then it started moving up. I got out with 23 pips. So, yeah, that's the trade that you see right there. GBPCAD. 23 pips I got. Not 25, 23. But anyway, let's just look at a couple more here. This was probably the best one right here. EURNZD. Now, this is where I'm saying this was in a downtrend all week long. So what you see is here, you see a big move up during the Asian session, but the box isn't blown out. It's 47.9 pips, right? It moves all the way up into the stop hunt box here, and then you get a set of railroad tracks. That's game over. That tells you to take that trade right there. You get in right there, you get 55 pips to the bottom. Now again, if you factor in the spread, you may have to get out with like 45 pips. Okay? But when you see this pin here go to the bottom, that's how you know that it's probably going to reverse on you. This reversal was on the news. It came up, it made a higher high up here, and then it dropped down again, but it never got as low as it did on that initial drop. This was the Vector 3 move. You could see 3 big candles up. 1, 2, 3, followed by the railroad track down, and you get in. This was the best example that I could show you of a Vector 3 move right here. Comes out of the Asian range. The Asian range is 47, 25 to 50 pip range. In this particular case, it made a strong move up during the Asian range, right? 3 moves up, goes in the stop hunt box, right? You get 3 big candles up, you get the railroad track, game over, you get in. You get in right on the open of this candle, and you get 56 pips. Again, factor in the spread, you won't get that much. Okay, we had a couple other trades that didn't make as much. Let's see if I can find, wasn't this one here. EU was a good one right here. Now, EU, prior to the London Open, was in a downtrend. So, this would have moved with the trend. So, what you see here is, though, you see a 32 pip Asian range box. And what's it doing? It's making a strong move up, right? It's not, chopping. It's moving up. It moves up. You get 3 moves up. Look at this huge pin that it throws right up to the stop hunt box. Okay? That one candle right there at that specific time is enough to tell you to get in. Now I'm gonna show you something here. Notice how you get 1, 2, 3 big candles up, but it doesn't get up into the stop hunt box here. It's not a big enough move. The Vector 3 move has to be at least 25 pips from the Asian range high in this case up to the stop hunt box is 25 pips. Now sometimes you can redraw the box if it consolidates in a different area, but in this case it doesn't do that. Okay, so when you see these railroad tracks here, you don't want to get in yet. See, if you take a short, it goes up, goes higher. Then you see railroad tracks again, it's not time to get in. But when you see this huge pin up into the stop hunt box here, that's it. It's game over right there. That's when it's time to get in. That drops 63 pips. Okay, let me show you one more. U-Chef. U-Chef was in a downtrend. Now, this is where I say a lot of times on a Friday, the market maker will take everything back, or he'll move the currency back to where it started at the beginning of the week. Now, if we look here, this was in a downtrend prior to the London Open, so you would look for a fake move up, a Vector 3 move up, and then take it down. In this case, though, it goes the other way. You see? Again, Asian range box, 33 pips. It's not blown out. You see a 1, 2, 3 moves down, right? You see a hammer, and right, you got a hammer thrown with a pin thrown right to the stop hunt box. And that tells you it's time to take that trade. you would get in right on this candle. This goes up 96 pips. If you say, hey, I'm going to wait for this railroad track here, and you wait for that candle to go up, and then you get in right here, you still have 82 pips. If you say, hey, I'm going to wait for the ketchup and mustard to cross, right? You get a ketchup mustard cross right there, you get in right there, you still have 78 pips. Again, our job is just to get 50 pips. Now here's something I want to show you with U-Chef. I was telling you, if you scroll this out here the past 5 days, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you see that right here, this is where U-Chef started out at the beginning of the week, okay? And then it drops, right? Drops all the way down here, and then you see the market maker makes this move up at the end of the day, Friday, straight up, and at the end of the week, if you draw this straight across here, at the end of the week, you're only about 14 pips away from where you started. So if you would have had a long position right here, you know, and if you would have got stopped, or let's say you got stopped out, or let's say worse yet, you didn't even have a stop and you blew your account because it just kept dropping, right? Tries to go up here, drops down to here. Tries to come back up, drops back down. Tries to come back up, drops all the way back down to here. You may have blown your account out and lost all your money. But at the end of the week, it closes within 15 pips of where it started. So that's what happens a lot of times on Friday. And this is a prime example here in USDCHF. But in some of the other pairs that I showed you, the moves stayed with the bigger trend of the week. So anyway, that's just some insight into what happened in the market today. Like I said, I try to stay out after early morning on Friday because a lot of times I'll just get run over going the wrong way. I think that I'm going with the trend, but it actually ends up that the trend is changing on me, and I'll get run over going the wrong way. So here was my trade today. GBPCAD was just a 0.05 lot size and $9.31, 23 pips. So Bill Sorano from Pittsburgh. Let's make it a great day trading forex, and I cannot wait until Sunday at 5 p.m. when the market opens again.